Okay, so imagine this. The sheer pressure of a breaking news cycle. You're trying to craft, the perfect message, find the exact right person to reach out to, and all this while you're fighting just an unbelievable amount of digital noise. For years, I mean decades really, public relations felt like an art form, driven by, well, intuition, contacts, lots of coffee. But what if there was like a silent partner, super fast, could predict public sentiment, draft pitches that are weirdly accurate, and optimize every single message for the biggest impact? Well, today that's exactly what we're diving into, how AI is fundamentally changing public relations. It's not just a tool anymore, it's becoming a strategic partner. The sources we're looking at today give these really fascinating glimpses into this shift, from the old days, very human-centric PR, to now an era increasingly shaped by AI. We'll dig into what this really means for businesses, sure, but also for creators and honestly for how you listening get your information. So our mission today, let's unpack how AI isn't just, tweaking PR tactics, but it's actually becoming the strategist behind the message, giving you a bit of a shortcut to grasp this huge shift. Okay, let's get into it.
It is, it's genuinely a profound evolution. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you just think back, maybe early 2000s public relations, it was almost entirely, reliant on gut feelings, human intuition, those personal media contacts people built up over years. And frankly, a lot was just guesswork guiding decisions. But jump to now, 2025, and AI is involved in, well, nearly every part of PR strategy. And we're not just talking about like sending out press releases faster. No, it's a real co-strategist. This shift, it's got huge implications. It actually empowers smaller players, think nimble startups, individual creators even. They can now operate with the kind of deep insight and frankly efficiency that used to be only for the big guys, the Fortune 500s. It really does level the playing field. It's kind of unprecedented.
That's a huge point. So does that mean the traditional PR agency, the one built on those personal networks, is it just going away?
Yeah.
Or just changing? And maybe more practically, what does AI as a strategist actually look like day to day for the teams on the ground? How's it changing their actual work?
It definitely evolves. Yeah, it becomes much more about augmenting what humans can do, making them better. And what's really fascinating here is seeing how tools like, ChatGPT, Jasper, even custom LLMs, they're getting right into the strategic heart of PR work. They're helping teams come up with new story angles, things maybe they wouldn't have thought of. They can develop super precise pitch timelines, even predict how certain journalists might react to a pitch. And the key thing is this is all based on data, tons of data, not just that old gut feeling. It means decisions are just, well, much more informed every step of the way.
Okay, so AI is clearly a huge help in crafting the message itself. But, in PR, timing is just critical. So how is AI going beyond just what to say and really getting into the when? How's it telling brands the best time to act? Or maybe even more importantly, when not to act, when to just hold back.
Precisely. Yeah, timing is crucial. I know it's not like a crystal ball, exactly. But these AI models, they're constantly pulling in just vast amounts of real-time data. Everything. Global news, social media buzz, what competitors are doing. They use sophisticated NLP natural language processing to pick up on really subtle shifts in public mood. They can anticipate ripples. They're basically spotting these tiny trends and predicting reactions before they happen. So brands can react not just to what is happening, but what's about to happen. And this feeds directly into real-time media intelligence. AI tools analyze things like coverage velocity, basically, how fast a story is spreading. Is it catching fire or fizzling out? And also topic fatigue. That's where, when the public has just heard too much about something, media saturation point. And AI can spot that way before a human team might realize. It stops a brand from launching something into, well, a dead conversation. All this analysis helps make outreach smarter, much more targeted.
Okay, I see how that human AI team makes sense conceptually. But can we make it a bit more real? Are there specific examples, like real-world cases where companies use this kind of AI partnership and got, actual results you could measure?
Oh, definitely. We came across some compelling examples in the research. For instance, think about a big global drinks company. They suddenly faced this huge backlash online about a new ingredient. Their AI didn't just say, hey, negative sentiment. No, it pinpointed the exact demographic driving the anger. It analyzed their past online behavior to figure out their core values. And then it actually suggested a whole revised comms strategy, which statement to release, which influencers to contact, all tailored to address those specific concerns. It let them pivot their crisis messaging basically instantly, stopped the bleeding before it went global. That's powerful.
Wow.
And we've also seen cases where AI predicted how likely content was to go viral before it was even out there. Like a tech startup used AI to test different headlines, different ways of structuring their content. The AI figured out which version had the highest chance of getting shared and liked, they optimized it, and boom, much bigger organic reach than they ever expected. And another key thing for lots of places is personalizing press pitches, but doing it at scale. Instead of those generic emails we all hate,
Right.
AI helps craft pitches specifically tailored to what a journalist has written about before, their interests, even the kind of tone they use. It just makes outreach so much more effective and efficient, obviously. Saves a ton of time compared to doing it manually. The results, the efficiency gains, they're really significant.
This is incredibly powerful stuff, but it does bring up some, well, pretty serious questions, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
when does carefully optimizing a message slide over into just manipulation? That line feels really, really thin,
Mhm.
maybe blurry.
It's a critical point. Yeah, and people often call it the ethical line. It's tricky because this isn't just about dividing people by age or where they live anymore. That's old school. AI can look at someone's entire digital footprint, what they like, buy, even their emotional reactions to stuff they see online, and then it crafts a message that's so specific, so personalized, it feels almost spooky. Like it reads your mind. This hyper targeting, that's where the questions about real influence versus, well, undue manipulation come in. It forces us to think hard about the moral risks, the reputational risks too. The big question really becomes, is AI getting too good at persuading people? It means all of us, consumers, communicators, we have to think critically about the responsibilities here, especially around being transparent about how this stuff is used.
That's such an important conversation we need to keep having as this tech develops. So looking further out then, what's next? What's the next frontier for AI and PR? Where could this be heading?
Well, as we explored in our research for this dive, the next big step could be AI running PR campaigns with much more autonomy. So, not just helping humans, but potentially handling tasks completely on its own. Things like writing the press releases from scratch, intelligently picking the best media outlets based on audience and past coverage, maybe even booking interviews, and constantly tweaking the message in real time based on live sentiment data. It's a vision where AI takes on a much, much bigger chunk of the strategic and the operational work, almost like an independent campaign manager.
Wow, what an incredible deep dive. This field is just changing so fast. It really drives home that idea, doesn't it? That in a world just flooded with noise, strategy is everything. It's the superpower. And AI is, well, it's quickly becoming this strategist that companies didn't even know they were missing.
Absolutely. It completely changes the game for how messages get created, how they get tested, how they get out there. The whole process just becomes faster, way smarter, and much, much more precise than anything we've had before.
So what does this all mean for us, for you listening? This whole topic, it really hits right at the core of, well, media technology trust. The whole future of influence, really. And it leaves you with a thought, maybe. As AI keeps getting better, keeps evolving, how might our basic understanding of trust change? When the strategist crafting the message isn't actually human, what does that do to the relationship between brands and all of us, their audiences? Especially when that persuasion becomes so targeted, so personalized, maybe almost invisible, something to chew on long after we finish up here.